Hello, mis amores. This is the most colorless picture I've ever created, I think. Maybe a bit of blue. That looks random. Too aggressive? Wait! Oh no. Maybe just to enhance the green of my shirt. Okay guys, tonight will be the night that I will fall for you. Over again. While falling in love, I think I gotta make some dinner, right? I have come up with a perfect solution for this because obviously if I make dinner for you, I don't want to stand in the kitchen for hours and hours and you get bored. And I might also be a people pleaser, so I want you to be happy with what I'm making for you. Just making one dish can end up in a catastrophe. So what do? We think of 3 different kind of dishes that take me no more than 20 minutes to make each. So we'll be happy because it'll be quick and you've got options. So that's the real and true story of what made me want to do this video. Here comes the false one just for some variety in storytelling. So I scrolled through TikTok and over the last couple of days I just kept coming across especially this one creator who had a series of 20 dinners in under 20 minutes, I think it was called. And then on top of that I kept getting videos like this. We're gonna test 3 of those, starting with the first one. I would say we don't have a lot of time, we only got 20 minutes. I might set a timer, but honestly I'm also filming and so it'll always take me a little bit longer, but maybe just to have like a rough estimate of if the 20 minutes are realistic. I'll let you pick whichever narrative sounds better and more realistic to you. As for me, I'm gonna start preparing the first dinner for you. We're gonna make spicy peanut butter noodles. Nice, easy, really great for a date because it's spicy and garlicky, and that's what you really want to smell like on a great date, right? And if you ever want to make this as well, here is what you need for it. 220 grams of capellini or your pasta of choice, preferably very thin, while also reserving 1/3 of the pasta water, 2 garlic cloves, 1-inch piece of ginger root, I don't know, I just took however much I thought could potentially be an inch, green onions, sesame seeds, sesame, 1/2 cup of smooth peanut butter, the star of the show, 1/4 cup of low sodium soy sauce, 1 tablespoon of sesame oil, 1 tablespoon of rice wine vinegar, 2 tablespoons of honey, same as 2 tablespoons of olive oil, and of course a tablespoon of sriracha. I'm not gonna lie, this is very easy. So let's cook our pasta, reserving 1/3 of the pasta water. We're just gonna dump the rest in the pan and add our pasta. What I find a bit strange about this recipe is just the name of it because it's called peanut butter noodles, but obviously we used pasta. And I don't know, I differentiate between that. In English, there are 2 different words for it. In German, we don't have 2 different words. We say noodles for both noodles and pasta. But in English, there are 2 words. And this is definitely pasta. But since the pasta only takes like 3 minutes to cook, we can already start with the sauce and then just leave it. So we're gonna start with 2 tablespoons of olive oil, probably like a medium heat. Are we hot yet? No. Add the garlic and ginger. Let it do its thing for a little while. Then add your peanut butter. I'm using my favorite peanut butter for this. Then we just add the rest really. The rest except for the sesame seeds and also not the spring onion. I might add a little less sesame oil because I think sesame can get way too overpowering too quickly. And just some sriracha if it wants to. Oh. Whoa, okay. And that's it. Whoopsie. That was a little bit too hot. Our pasta is done, so we can add some of the pasta water for extra creaminess. And lastly, of course, our pasta. I honestly didn't even need a timer for these. Obviously, you had a little bit of prep work to do with the ginger and garlic and stuff, but like, maybe the first time making this will take you about 20 minutes, but the second time you will be done after 10. I probably shouldn't have put all of it in here at once to make it look a bit prettier, but we're here for flavor and not pretty. And if you're here for pretty, then take this. pretty. I don't want sesame seeds on there. Like, you can put some more sesame seeds, I don't need them. The first dinner that I made for you is done. This smells heavenly. I just really hope that you like garlic and ginger. Without further ado, guys, please dig in, enjoy. This gets stiff very quickly, so maybe reserve a little bit more pasta water just to add throughout the process of eating it. And these are really good. I put a lot of ginger, but I really enjoy this. Very flavorful. I'm definitely sold. They are spicy, but like a nice kind of spice. Nice kind of spice. Surprisingly, I do like it with the pasta instead of noodles, just for a change. Yeah, what can I say? Delicious. I want more. I'm gonna have some more. But also not too much, because don't eat too much. I'm still gonna make 2 more dishes for you in a little while. We're back, because I heard you're still hungry. I'm not gonna lie, but I'm just gonna keep all of these things that I make for later. Our next recipe will be very interesting. The ratings for this recipe also weren't that good. Yeah, that intrigued me. I mean, 3 out of 5 stars also isn't super bad, but if many people say it's bad, I wanna know why it's bad. Prep takes you 10 minutes, cooking takes you 10 minutes apparently. And here's what you need in order to make cottage cheese fritters. Interessante. Of course you're gonna need cottage cheese. 300 grams. 100 grams of chopped cherry tomatoes. And I'm not gonna lie, most of the prep time took up trying to chop these tomatoes as small as possible. The zest of half a lemon. 75 grams of plain flour. And 50 grams of Parmesan. And here we've got still some spring onion. But also 50 grams of spinach mixed with 25 grams of some mixed herbs. I've only got basil and parsley, which I've all chopped together. And lastly, just some olive oil to fry. See, that's not a lot. And making it is also pretty straightforward. You take a bowl and combine all of the ingredients except the flour and the oil. I want to add some seasoning to this as well. And by that I mean at the very least a bit of pepper and salt. Once it's been mixed, you can also stir in the flour. I'm actually fairly confident that this is gonna be good, so I'm so surprised that the ratings weren't that good. Maybe that is why I wanted to make it. Let's just put some olive oil into a pan and fry them. If you make the amount that I told you to make, this should make about 6 fritters. In my case, it should make about 3. Put them in there and then flatten them with the back into discs. Oh no, no room. It kind of smells like pesto. It smells really good. I have a feeling this was not enough flour, and I had that feeling before. They don't keep their shape really. I mean, they're stuck on the bottom. I don't know if they're done already. I mean, they started to become brown. I think it's okay to have turned it around already. We'll just flip it again later. Miss Girlies, I don't think this is gonna work. Okay, now I'm starting to have faith. Once they've been turned around once, kind of. Now this is gonna work. I think I'm about to give up. Like, they're kind of fritter-esque. I'm giving up on them. Either we're happy with how they look right now, or they're gonna burn. I think we're gonna be happy with how they look right now. Well guys, I don't think I'd be happy serving you this. It's not as dark as it looks on camera, but look, we can make it look pretty. Or no, if not even the spring onion can save it. Maybe you have to like properly fry these. It did only say to use 1 tablespoon of olive oil, which makes it half a tablespoon for me. And I definitely even used more than that. They're still quite wobbly. They stay in one piece, so that's a plus. I sprinkled some Parmesan on top as I was told. Again, I'm sorry for how this looks, but I hope that it tastes good for you at least. It's still very soft. I feel like it just needed more flour, no? Cheers. I mean, it tastes really good. It tastes like fresh pesto. I do also really enjoy the more crunchy outer layer that doesn't taste burned, because it isn't, it's just dark. And then like the really soft and chewy, not really chewy, but kind of chewy and more liquid inside. So I really like the textures actually, but obviously it's falling apart. I really love this flavor wise. I'm sure you can perfect this recipe somehow. I just can't think of a way right now, but I'm sure there is a way. This was just an experiment that I wanted to serve you. I think for the last recipe, we're gonna go a little safer. Are we ready for recipe number 3? Numero 3. Because this is gonna be Italian inspired, we're gonna make a version of an Italian classic, although I have never made that classic before, so I have no way of knowing if or how close it is to that classic. We're gonna make a cacio e pepe.
Cacio e pepe.
Orzo. This is again from the first TikTok creator, which I'm gonna link in the description down below. Honestly, I've only ever had cacio e pepe once in my life. Cacio e pepe means cheese and pepper. Without further ado, let's get into it. Here's what you're gonna need for the cacio e pepe orzo. 340 grams of orzo, 1 cup of pecorino or Parmesan cheese, 3 tablespoons of heavy cream, fresh parsley if you want. I don't think I want. The other star of the show, 3/4 of a tablespoon of freshly ground peppercorns. I'm just gonna grind it later. 1 tablespoon of butter and just 3 cups of chicken stock. Mine obviously is veggie stock. We're gonna start by lightly toasting our ground peppercorns in a pan. So let me get to grinding them. We do this for about 45 seconds, so let's go over there. I didn't clean the pan too thoroughly from the fritters, so there might still be some remnants of oil in there. Timer 45 seconds. Ooh, that's... Maybe I should open the window. Then add the tiniest amount of butter. Her words, not mine. Now add the uncooked orzo. Maybe a little bit more butter. Nice. And now kind of just like risotto, you're gonna add a bit of your stock until it's fully evaporated or absorbed. And then add a little bit more, and so on and so forth. This is honestly such an easy recipe. This smells good. Orzo does take a while to cook, so I'm probably gonna have to let it sit for a while. And here you have it, our cacio e pepe orzo. You could add some parsley now if you wanted to. You could also add some extra Parmesan on top, which is something that I would do if I hadn't run out of Parmesan. This doesn't look as creamy as hers, and I wonder, is it because I didn't use chicken stock, or I'm sure it'll still tastes great though. Can you see the cheese strings? And then I was so smart as to turn off this camera because I thought I had filmed that food enough, and all you really wanted to see was my face. But my face did not want to be seen apparently. At least I can now present you with my newly recorded voice that doesn't even remember what I really thought of this dish, but I think it was quite dry for some reason, and obviously you tasted that. The flavor was okay, but not overwhelming. It was pretty good for how easy and quick it was though. It wasn't mind-blowing in any way, shape or form, but you can't really expect it with how little effort you put into this dish. So for what it is, it's pretty good, but you could definitely amp this up in little ways if you know how to cook, which I only know how to follow recipes, so I can't even give you a tip. Anyway guys, I'm so sorry for this weird ending, and I promise that next week we will have a proper outro for whatever it is that we're doing in that video. Thank you so much for sticking around anyway, for watching this video, and nos vemos la próxima vez y bye!